First, do no harm, Greek medicine. In context, before circa 1750 BC, Hammurabi's code stipulates payments for physicians and penalties for their failures. Circa 500 BC, Alcmaeon of Croton identifies the brain as the seat of intelligence. After 4th century BC, the great philosopher Aristotle expands on the humorous theory, but sees the heart as the seat of vitality, intellect, and feeling. Circa 260 BC, Herophilus of Alexandria establishes the science of anatomy, describing nerves, arteries, and veins. Circa 70 BC, Asclepiades of Bithynia states the body is composed of molecules and disease occurs if their pattern is disrupted. Circa 70 AD, Dioscorides writes De Materia Medica, which remains the core text for plant-based medicine for 1.6 millennia. Ancient medical practice was largely rooted in the belief that disease was caused by malevolent spirits or inflicted as a punishment by the gods. Most attempts to heal an illness usually involved ritual and prayer rather than any real attempt at medicinal cure. Although drug recipes using various plants had been concocted by Egyptian and Sumerian healers, their efficacy was questionable. An early attempt to regulate medical practice was set up by the Babylonian king Hammurabi around 1750 BC. His wide-ranging law code included a scale of fees that doctors could charge, such as 10 shekels for excising a tumor from a nobleman. It also laid down harsh punishments for botched operations. A surgeon could lose his hands for causing the death of a patient. Yet Babylonian medicine still employed exorcists to chase away disease-causing spirits, and it was not until the ancient Greeks began to try to explain the nature of the universe in philosophical rather than divine terms that medical practice began to change. Philosophy and medicine. Among the first to adopt a more rational approach to medicine was the philosopher-scientist Alcmaeon of Croton. In the 5th century BC, he identified the brain as the seat of intelligence and also conducted scientific experiments such as dissecting the eye to establish the structure of the optic nerve. He believed the body was governed by opposing influences, dry, hot, or sweet, bitter, that must be balanced. Empedocles, another 5th century Greek philosopher, believed that the human body was ruled by the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. These two theories were then synthesized by Hippocrates, circa 460 BC to 375 BC, the greatest physician in the ancient Greek world, in order to produce an all-encompassing theory of human physiology. He had founded a medical school in his native cause, where he developed and taught the theory of the 4 humors: blood, phlegm, yellow, and black biles, whose equilibrium in the body was necessary for good health. Unlike rival medical schools such as the Cnidian school, he saw the body as a single system, not a collection of isolated parts, and insisted on observation of symptoms of disease to inform diagnosis and treatment. A rational approach. The Hippocratic Corpus is a body of more than 60 works, including epidemics and on fractures and joints, attributed to Hippocrates and his followers. Along with detailed case studies, it includes neatly defined disease categories that are still used today, such as epidemic, chronic, and acute. Hippocrates promoted holistic treatment of his patients with as much emphasis placed on diet, exercise, and massage hygiene as on drugs. This professional approach was reflected in the school's later insistence that its students take an oath promising to do patients no harm and to respect their confidentiality. Hippocrates' rationalism laid the foundations for later physicians such as Galen and Dioscorides to establish medicine as a respected and vitally important profession. Its key advances would stem from science rather than the shady practice and old superstitions of itinerant healers and exorcists. The Hippocratic Oath. Traditionally attributed to Hippocrates and named after him, the oath required new physicians to swear to uphold a code of ethics. As revered teacher and physician who traveled widely, Hippocrates had great influence. The oath set a high standard of expertise and etiquette and established medicine as a profession that ordinary people could trust. It separated physicians from other healers and included a promise not to poison patients and to protect confidentiality. Hippocrates himself insisted that physicians be of a good appearance, as patients could not trust a doctor who did not look capable of taking care of himself. According to the oath, the physician must be calm, honest, and understanding. The oath became a basis for medical ethics in the Western world, and many of its classes are still relevant today, such as patient confidentiality and respect for patients.